All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, this is Shabai from the camp in Denver, GMS, and I'm going to go in on Matthew 22 and starting at 1 through the Spirit. And let me see something real quick. As we start this, so-called New Year, because it's not the true New Year. The true New Year is, during late March, early April, the month of Abib. But these devils, they change everything. So they even change the times, right? The laws and the times. Let's get that real quick, because this is not the true New Year. But there's Daniel 7 and 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. All right, so yeah, this devil, he changes the times, the laws, because this is not the true New Year. It's not that time of year. All right, the true New Year is in the like I said, in the month of Abib, which would be on the Gregorian calendar, a late March, early April. During the springtime, when when the earth starts to wake up, so to speak. With the trees, with the trees, what's the word I'm looking for? Waking up, the flowers blossoming, the time of year where you get all the green, green grasses, green pastures. That's the actual New Year. But anyway, that's not the subject of this lesson. I'm going in on Matthew 22, starting in 1. And I do want to mention because it's the first day of the so-called New Year, and Elder Apostle Tahar has coined it the hopeful year of our deliverance and the destruction of Esau. All right, so this is the hopeful year of our deliverance. So it shows you, hey, through the Spirit, it's getting heavy. Everything's getting heavy, right? And that's kind of why this lesson was inspired to do, because we're coming to this time right now. We're already getting. If the Apostle Tahar coined the year the hopeful year of our deliverance, I mean, come on, man. This is let me grab this precept real quick. That just came to mind. Oh shit. Here, let's go to Romans 13 and 11. It says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of our sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Okay. I'll read the second verse. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Meaning, at night it's dark. You're in dark. We were in darkness for a time, but now, Yahweh, as it's written, He's brought us into His marvelous light. Meaning, we have the understanding. We understand the scriptures. We have knowledge. We have knowledge of our salvation. We measure the times diligently. You see, we know that this thing is about to get things are going to start popping off, man. I mean, you look at the news today, Esau's got all kind of crazy shit happening in his kingdom. They had what they're calling a terrorist attack. They had, what else did I see? All kind of things that was popping off in the news, right? The other thing is they had an omen, which an omen means a sign. You had the, I don't know if brothers saw this, but you had last night or on their so-called New Year's Eve, you had, what is it? Now my mind's slipping. I'm trying to remember which three things got the national. I think it's the Washington Monument, the Washington Monument, the Empire State Building, and the Capitol, I believe, in Washington, all got struck by lightning. Right? There were pictures on the internet with all those different locations getting struck by lightning. Which that's an omen, right? That's an omen of the times we're in. You see? You have, you think it's a coincidence that those type of pictures they have on the internet, and I can't show you because every time I go to the Google, it'll mute my lesson. So, go Google it for yourself, that omen that I'm speaking about. So things are getting crazy. They're about to really get crazy, man. This is the time where we have to, we got to really focus, for 2025. And that includes, starting out with myself, first and foremost, I know that, I have to be better, when it comes to, doing the work, when it comes to walking in the Spirit, when it comes to everything. This is a time to really, and really we've been, gradually, getting stronger, getting better through the Spirit. But now it's, it's this time. We don't have time to be bullshitting. We don't have time to be, listening to false prophets who are teaching unsound doctrine. So times are getting heavy, and we can feel it through the Spirit. And that's, for our elder apostle Tahar to coin this year as the hopeful year of our deliverance, that's saying a lot. And I'll read this one more time, Romans 13:11, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Okay? The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. And that's what it is, Trying to put on that armor, which that armor is this truth, But anyway, I'm going to go back to the lesson that I was going to start out in Matthew 22:1. We'll start at the top. 22:1, it says, and Yahushua answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king which made a marriage for his son. Right? And sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Right? And the word bidden, it means invite, So Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai are through the Spirit, the men who are out on the streets prophesying have been invited to this wedding, and the wedding is dealing with the bride are the servants, the prophets, and the husbandman is Yahweh Shai. You see, so that's the wedding. That's that wedding, we've been invited to, and that's why it's time to focus. Because when you get invited to a wedding, you're not gonna go wear your your gym clothes, right, to go to the wedding, right? You're gonna get decked out. You're gonna wear your formal, as they call it, formal clothing. So you gotta have the right garment, right? When you go to the wedding that you're invited to. People will be looking at you like a fool if you walk into a wedding and you're dressed in like you're ready to go hit the gym. So that's a metaphor for us. We're the right garment that we're supposed to be wearing is like that example I just gave. You have to have that right garment, meaning you have to have sound doctrine, and you can't be teaching unsound doctrine or things that don't add up according to scripture. When you go, and this is that wedding. It's a parable that we're reading here. All right. It says in verse 4, again he sent forth servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready, come unto the marriage. Right? So, hey, this is everything that you see happening on the earth. The prophets being up on their feet, standing up with, teaching with knowledge and understanding. The rumors of wars, the earthquakes in diverse places, the world in just straight chaos. The land of mirth, that is gone out of the land. There's no mirth in this land anymore. Mirth being like laughter and happiness. People are the total opposite. So these are the things that we recognize as the servants of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We see that, the state of this place. So, we can measure the times by all the things that are happening around us, And it's a spiritual thing, because the majority of these people, they're not spiritual. They're not, the Holy Spirit's not dealing with them. So they think it's just, first of all, they don't understand why America is in the state that it's in, chaos, and everybody's at, there's tension in the air, and people are, I just saw a story, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. There was a judge in Georgia that, he literally just, I didn't read the whole story. I saw the title, but he shot himself in his own courtroom. Things like that, The Lord's putting these spirits on the people, and a lot of crazy shit's happening. And why is that? It's because of the times we're in. So, everything's being prepared. Like it says here, behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. So, being in this time, knowing the times that we're in, and seeing how we measure the times, and observe and realize, what time it is in this story. I'll say for that Yahweh is, because the scriptures is literally Yahweh's story, right? He's the one who he's the one who dictates everything that happens. All right. So that being said, if you're looking at things spiritually, you can tell that it's what times we're in. And that's why it says, come unto the marriage. So you got to come to the marriage. But guess what? Like I was saying earlier, you got to come in that right garment. You got to come in that right spirit. So let's keep reading. But they made light of it and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth and sent forth his armies and destroyed those murders and burned up their city. So this is a metaphor of what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to do, because first of all, it says, but they made light of it. So the majority of these people, they make light of this work we do. They make light of the 2/3, for example. They'll hear the truth. They'll see the prophets on the street corners. They're not inquiring, what it's about or what's really going on, or hearkening or listening or taking heed to the scripture, They don't like it says in Wisdom of Solomon 5. Let me grab this real quick. It says, let me read it. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and Wisdom of Solomon 5, and I'll just read 1. It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors." Because the majority of these people, they don't make no account of our labors. They think that they think we've gone crazy. They think they think we're foolish, right? They don't believe the things that we're saying. And we're not, when we're out there prophesying and teaching and on these lessons, we're not telling you our own opinions or what we think is going to happen. We're telling you through the Holy Spirit, like as they say, and these people, they like to say, "Oh, God's plan, God's plan." Well, guess what? God's plan, the one you ignorantly call God, his name is Yahweh. His plan is to bring a lot of judgment here in the next in these years that are approaching us. And if you look at the way Elder Apostle Tahar coined this year, the slogan being the hopeful year of our salvation, then guess what? If that's the time we're in, and if it happens this year in 2025, and we're not saying it's going to happen, we know the day or the hour. All we're saying is, through the Spirit, we know we're getting into some heavy times. That's what Elder Apostle Tahar is saying. For him to call 2025 this year the hopeful year of our salvation, that shows you that like I was saying, God's plan, Yahweh's plan is hey, we're getting close, man. And so you can't be taking light of the wedding invitation that we're reading about here in Matthew 22. Like you might teach, you taught some of your family members or cousins or whatever Israelites that you came across since you've been in this truth, and you may share little bits and pieces of here and there through the Spirit. If you feel like they might be worthy or they might be sincere, and you start to teach them a little bit, then you realize, oh, this motherfucker's he's making light of it, right? Like it says here in verse 5. Then at that point, you just let him be, because that's what the majority of these people do. You damn sure don't even really want to, you don't want to teach the heathen, because it's not for the heathen. But for the Israelites, you're gonna have a lot of them that are gonna make light of it, like it says right here, and they're gonna go on their ways. They have other priorities, like this verse right here in 5. But they made light of it and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise, and the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them. But when the king thereof he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies. So that's Yahweh. This is that metaphor, this parable. Yahweh is talking about he's pissed off. It's gonna kindle his wrath, right? The wrath of Yahweh, and he's gonna send forth his armies, which his army consists of Yahweh Shai, starting out with Yahweh Shai and Michael the archangel, and all the angels on down. Who are gonna basically destroy this place and burn it up, like it says. Not to mention the nuclear missiles. There's going to be a great destruction coming to Babylon, America. All right, and this is time to, like I said earlier, focus, examine ourselves. Buckle down. That how Esau, he has his New Year's resolutions or whatever. Listen, the best so-called New Year revolution you could do is to get focused and get 10 toes down for this truth. Cast away things that are distracting you. Cast away things that are hindering you. And for every brother, that those things that are hindering us are going to be different. But that's why we got to examine ourselves, right? Are we going to be in that proper garment when the Lord's armies come to destroy and burn the city, which the city being Babylon, America? Let me see. Are you going to be doing the work, or are you going to be, doing some other bullshit? Like it says right here, you're going to be, what says, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. You're going to be worrying about building your empire here in Babylon. You're trying to build a business, You're trying to, that's what that means, that verse 5. You're more concerned about, getting a higher status of a so-called better life here in Babylon, instead of, being able to measure the time diligently and understand what time we're in, and understand that, our salvation is drawing nearer than when we believed, like that verse I read. Let me grab this real quick. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, that's the one. Matthew 25 and 45. Let's see. I'll start at 42. It says, Matthew 25:42. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. Dealing with this truth, right? Because this is the bread of life, the water, the water that you'll never thirst again with this truth. So before I was hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. Naked, and ye clothed me not. Remember, we're dealing with those garments. Remember, we want to put that proper garment, as we're about to read in Matthew 22. It says, and ye clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and ye visited me not. Right, our people are sick in Babylon. They have mental illness. They call that mental illness here in America, Babylon the Great. Well, our people are sick, and the sickness starts in your head because of all the bullshit, the way your mind's set up, the way you have the mindset that the majority of our people have. They have no reverence for this knowledge, no reverence for this truth. That's why they choose to go do things that are foolish, which are like they want to spend all their energy and time trying to build up in a place that's not our rest. They want to try and be so-called successful here in a place in Babylon where this is not our end all be all. But they're not spiritual, and they don't see what this thing's really about. You're sick and you're in prison. Babylon is the prison. You see, it says, I was sick and in prison, and ye visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when we saw thee an hungered, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, in prison, and did not minister unto thee. Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me. Wait. Okay, I'll keep reading this, but that's not the one I wanted. Okay, I'm in the wrong chapter, but that was the spirit, because that went well with what I was going in on. So this is what I meant to grab, Salakia. But that was good though. That went in also. So this is Matthew 24 is what I meant to grab in 45. All right, it says, who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season, right? And the household is Israel, and the rulers of Israel are going to be the 144,000, the true prophets, not the false prophets, but the ones that are coming in the right doctrine, all right, coming in the right spirit, coming with wearing the right garment. That garment you wear, it's like a false prophet would be that dude going to the wedding in gym clothes, so you can understand. Verse 46, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Right, the meat in due season. What's the meat in due season? Sound doctrine, what we're teaching. And what season are we in? We're in the end times. We're at that time of the wedding. Remember, everything's been prepared, like we read in Matthew 22. Verse 47, verily I say unto you that he shall make him ruler over all. Oh, that was it, though. That was the point right there. Slakia. But let me read that again. 46. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Right. Find so doing what? Find so in when the Lord comes back. What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be at your farm trying to build up your empire in Babylon? Are you going to be at your entrepreneur here in Babylon trying to build up a temporary business that's not going to last? Because we already read the king is going to destroy and send for his armies and burn up the city. Where is your priority? What's your purpose? What's your passion? And the passion, that what it says right here, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. The ones who are going to be in that right spirit, that right garment, teaching the elect. That's the garment that's the spirit. That's what you want to be found doing when Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua visits the earth. And you got, like I say, you got to have that right garment on. Let's go back to Matthew 22 and verse 8. It says, then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Right, so they were invited, because really everyone's invited. All the Israelites are invited. Even the 2/3 are invited, but those are those ones who they got other shit to do. They got other priorities. Then you have those ones that are gonna come through the back door, if you will, or they're gonna come to the wedding in the wrong garment, right? Those are like representing like false prophets, teaching unsound doctrine. They have a zeal about the knowledge and the truth, but they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge, right? They have a passion, meaning, for this truth, but it's not according to knowledge. Like you got these pagan Christians, right? You come in that spirit, you're not wearing the right garment if you're a so-called Christian, you're in that pagan Christian church. That's not the right garment, So all the Israelites are invited at the end of the day, but a lot of them are just going to blow it off. Some are going to think they're coming in the right spirit to the wedding, but they're coming in the total wrong spirit. That's them coming in them gym clothes to the wedding. Salakia, coming in them gym clothes to the wedding. Verse 9. Oh, let me read it. Actually, I didn't finish 8. Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Right, so you were invited, but look how you coming. You come to the wedding. Like if one of the bridesmaids comes to the wedding and she's wearing, like I say, gym clothes, or she's in her hoochie mama club outfit, what are they gonna tell you? They're gonna tell you, get the hell out of here. Right? It's the same thing with this truth, with this marriage that we're invited to, bidded to, Verse 10. So those servants went out in the highways and gathered together as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And that's what the servants, the prophets, are doing, right? Because we're inviting all Israel, Yeah, but even though the message, all Israel, I should say this, that we're not inviting all Israel, but the message is there to be heard by all of Israel. There's no one going to have an excuse. Because why? You don't have an excuse. You can't, when the Lord, the day of Yahweh, the day of wrath comes, you're not going to be able to be like, oh, well, I didn't know. No, man, you know, because why? Because the prophets are on the street. Thine eyes shall see thy teachers, There's Isaiah. Let me get that. You don't have no excuse, Let's get that real quick. Yeah, I thought it was Isaiah 30:20. I just want to make sure because sometimes I pull out Isaiah 20:30, but it's Isaiah 30:20. You don't have an excuse, Israel. The Lord set up his teachers. Isaiah 30:20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. All right? So there's no excuse. You ain't going to be able to tell the Lord, oh, I'm sorry, I was busy, or I never saw the prophets. How was I supposed to know? You know what I mean? You're accountable, like everybody who walks past the camps, especially if you're an Israelite. That's basically, if you don't stop and inquire what it's about, that's basically you just saying, I got other things to do. You don't look into it. You don't become a diligent man, because your teachers are out there, right? Let's get this real quick. Jeremiah 3:15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. There you go. The Lord has given you pastors according to his heart, according to his mind. And we're feeding you Israelites with knowledge and understanding, but only the ones that are worthy are which are the elect, are going to make this a priority. They're not only the elect are going to take heed, to the scriptures. Hey, take heed to the doctrine. You see, let's get to Matthew 22. Matthew 22 and let me see. Okay, verse 9. It says, Go ye therefore into the highways, as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants, and that's why we're out there on the street corners, on the highways and the byways, on the highways and the hedges, right? In the chief place of concourse. You see? Verse 10, So those servants went out in the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And there you go. You're going to have those true prophets, the true teachers who are going to be sealed, right? The elect. And then you're going to have those false prophets, who are teaching Israel wrong. Verse 11, And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. Right? So you're going to be over there in your gym clothes at the wedding, right? And I just keep using that as an example so you can understand. But like I said, someone wearing gym clothes would be a metaphor for these false prophets, or these people that they have other things to do. They have other priorities that they put before this knowledge, before this truth, before Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You see, that represents all these guests that are invited to the wedding, but they're not wearing the right garment. All right. So we go in verse 12. It says, And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? and he was speechless. And that's how y'all are going to be when the day of the Lord comes. You know, you're gonna be witnessing the destruction. You know, so you pagan Christians, you coming in that real bad garment. You might as well come naked if you're a pagan Christian, because you ain't even got a garment. Because the Christianity, they don't even know, the pagan Christianity, they don't even know what salvation is. They think they're already saved. So when Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai visits the earth, and when Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai burns up their city and their cities, you know, you're going to be speechless. You're going to be like, oh shit, I should have listened to my teachers. It tells you that in Proverbs 5. It says, let strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger, and thou mourn at the last when the flesh and the body are consumed. And say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined mine ear to them that instructed me. You see? So they're going to be getting, when that word consume, it goes into, if your flesh is going to be consumed, it's talking about fire. We read that the king is going to burn up their city, right? He's going to send forth his armies to burn his city. We're talking about the chariots, talking about Yahweh Shai, right? Let's get this real quick. Isaiah 47 and 3. It says, Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, the shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Because Yahweh Shai, he came as a man, you know, in his during his time in Galilee, in Jerusalem, you know, when he was teaching his disciples, you know. He was that Lamb of God, but now he's coming back as that Lion of Judah. And he's going to be more than a lion, because the lion just symbolizes power and you know, strength and courage. He's not coming like that lamb like he did when he first came when they crucified him. No, he's not going to meet you as a man. Yahweh Shai he already has that new body, you know. That spiritual body, that heavenly body, that celestial body. So he's untouchable. He's really always been untouchable in the spirit, right? So he's not going to meet you as a man. When Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai visits the earth and when Yahweh sends his armies to burn up the city, like we read in Matthew 22, he's not going to be in that flesh there where you could throw him on a cross and put him to death. All right, let's go to Matthew 22, and I'll start at 12 again. I'll read that again. He said, and he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless, because that's how you're going to be. You're going to be like, oh shit, I should have listened to my teachers. I'm speechless. Why didn't I put this truth first? Why didn't I reverence Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai? Why didn't I call on the true names? You see? And those IUIC guys that are calling on Israel, they're uniting themselves in Christ. No, you're supposed to unite yourself in Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, not Christ. Then that means you're wearing a wrong garment. And you're going to be speechless too if you're calling on the wrong names. Verse 13, Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. All right? And that weeping and gnashing of teeth goes into you're frustrated. You know, people gnash their teeth when they get frustrated or mad. They're going to be so mad, but it's going to be too late. Why? Because their flesh is going to be being consumed by that nuclear fire and by that chariot fire from the armies from the Lord of Hosts armies, which are those angels, those chariots, what you call UFOs, that they're going to be, zapping people like they show you in the movies. They're going to be causing chaos during the day of the Lord. And like it says right here in 14, many are called, but few are chosen. The ones who are going to be chosen are the ones who are coming in the true doctrine, calling on the true names, being diligent, doing the work, being sincere. Now, do you fuck up? Even if you're a sincere man, you're going to fuck up here and there, but you got to bounce back, I'll close out on this. Oh, shit, what did I do here? I'll close out on this. Proverbs 24:16, it reads, For a just man falleth 7 times, and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. All right? So a just man that falls 7 times, 7 is a number of completion, so it doesn't mean you're going to fall 7 times. It means you're going to fall a complete number of times, Because brothers know us being in this, walking through this fire, walking through the trials and tribulation of this wicked ass society. We know that we've done had more than 7 days where we fell, or more than 7 instances where we had to get up and rise again. But that word 7, it just means it's just a parable for completion. Okay. And I'm gonna read that last. It's not the last verse, but it's the last verse I'm gonna read. Matthew 4:22-14 at the bottom, it says, "For many are called, but few are chosen." And that's why we have to move with fear. Fear Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Take heed. Don't just think that you don't have to do the work. You don't have to put no time into this truth of ours. You got to do the work. You got to be sincere. You got to put on that correct wedding garment. So with that, I want I hope the lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge the Akyam, who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect. Shalom.